Alright, we doing this live so we can finish the Alien Romulus movie review, and then I'll keep this one open, and then the next one not open. Alright, so what the movie? What the sheesh. Um, uh, you know how they were like TLDR, too long don't read. Alright, point blank period. I don't even think it's worth a watch. Um, you don't gotta watch it for yourself to figure that out. I don't think it's worth a watch. Just point blank period. The movies, I wouldn't watch it bootleg. It's not worth a watch. Alright, so let's just get into it. Like, I didn't even feel like getting another cigar. Like, if it was good, I'm like, oh, I get a cigar. We gotta talk about this. No, it was none of that. So let's see. Of course, the motivation for the movie, they set the motivation and intent as trying to get off the current planet, and in order to do so, they basically need some type of fuel to go into the pods. And what do you gotta do? Basically, you be inside the pod, and you're gonna be in there for. It's supposed to preserve your body, and then you should, you know what I'm saying, pop up in your destination, wake up, and just be all good. So, uh, the motivation is to get fuel. The motivation is to get fuel for the little pod or whatever. That's the motivation. Okay, so of course they steal the ship. They go out onto the other one. They hook up to the other ship, and then figure out it's not enough fuel there. Okay, so here's a pivot point. One girl's like, "Well, we came, my abandoned. We came here. We seen it's not enough. Might as well just go." Dude's like, "Nah, keep going." They keep going. Then they decide to. They find it. They find the fuel, right? Now at this point, oh, this is not the point yet. When they find the fuel, the door gets locked. So it's girls back on the plane, on the ship. Two of the girls, one girl is pregnant. She stays on the ship, if I'm recalling correctly. One girl, I think she stays on the ship. But the girl who's the pilot and the girl who had the robot, who's actually kind of like savvy a little bit, they two come. So they're on the ship. I gotta get my words right, bro. They found the fuel. They get locked in the room. Two girls come off the ship. As they're getting off the ship, the robot is like, oh, okay. The reason they got locked into the room was because the guy had clearance. The robot has clearance. So the robot can put his like finger inside the ship and it'll unlock doors. But when they took the fuel out of the little space, the alarm for the ship started going off. That's why the door locked. And so when he tried to unlock it again, he didn't have clearance. So the other girls come onto the ship, and then they see the other one, the other robot, the other little AI robot, and so they have like chips right here behind their neck. So she pressed that little thing, took the chip out his neck. She took the chip and put it inside the other, and when they went to the door had a crack in it. So she was like, "Put this inside of Andy. Um, put this inside of Andy, and da 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 boom boom. It might can upgrade his clearance." So They do that. So they get there, slide the chip in to they slide the chip into the door. And so then Andy, while he's rebooting with the new chip, he's stuck like, ah, he's stuck. He's stuck while he's rebooting. And then this is the first time we see aliens. All right, aliens have finally popped up. It takes about 40 minutes for us to get some action here. It takes about 40 minutes. So we get there. So there, what ends up happening? So they're trying to, they put the chip inside of Andy. He's stuck rebooting. And while he's stuck rebooting, booting, aliens start to pop up out the little, then like, I don't even know what to call them. It's like little baby aliens all in rows, all inside the little jars. And they're not even in jars. They're in like whatever the little caps things is. It's real small. Two of them like pop out and they in the water. And so they started to like jump on the people and the two dudes that's locked inside the door. Then Andy finally reboots and he puts his little finger in the door and the door opens. So we're good off that. We're good off that now. And then what ends up happening? Oh, okay. So with the two girls, they get back to with the two girls and they're ready to leave the ship. Now, as they're all leaving the ship, everybody's alive. Everybody's alive, all right? Currently on the ship is the two dudes and the robot and the two girls. Everybody's good, and the one girl's back on the ship. She's pregnant. So, they're on their way back. And one of the little alien things hops on to the Asian girl. I think they call her Navarro. They hop onto the Asian girl's face. It hops onto her face and then wraps around her neck. And then the dude, they're like, is there any way we could possibly save her? Because they was want to just like shoot it off, but it was like, it's choking her. So if we, whatchamacallit, we would just mess with it, it's just gonna choke her. So one dude was like, oh, Andy, now that Andy has his upgraded chip, so after, so then the girl's like, well, maybe we can freeze off the tail. So they go to freeze off the tail. And then they get the alien off of her. Now, the other robot looks at him and he says, there's a 60-40 split. Is that the alien already didn't do what it was going to do. And basically, you know what I'm saying, plant the seed inside of her. 60-40 chance. He says, not looking good. He tells the other robot, so there was a robot who was half his body was chopped off and he was messed up already. That's the other robot that was there. They took the little clearance out of him and put it in Andy, the other robot. So, what do we got after this? Then, the one robot, I don't even know his name, Rook, okay. The black AI robot is called Andy. The other half cut up robot from the ship, his name is Rook. So I might put my arms in this inside of here, bro. This is they tear me up. They tear me up. Hold up, bro. I'm gonna have to go like this. This is crazy. And then she wants to play. So Andy says the girl that had the alien on her face, she can't come. She's done. She can't come. That's you know, that's a tough decision you gotta make, right? Tough decision you gotta make. She can't come. You gotta be buzzed, man. But so when I said it only takes one dumbass to make a movie, here's the one dumbass. Andy says we gotta leave her. They're like the one guy who is always being. Oh man, I'm itchy. I can't. So the one who is always being mean to Andy, he's like, I'm not leaving her here. And then it's like, okay, here, it's all down here from here. So he runs up to the ship. He runs up to the ship with her, and then everybody else on the other ship, like, I know they're not about to leave us. Like, bro, what y'all doing? So the thing is, as soon as she gets back to the ship, she starts screaming. The alien come up out of her. She starts screaming, and the alien come up out of her. So it's like, you should have left her on the ship. You should have left her on the ship. So, alien coming up out of her. She's done. The alien done popped up out of her. Nah, she's done. And so, I forget how that dude dies. But it's like, he's like next. So, what do they do from here? Then, because, so you gotta remember, Navarro, which is the one that had the alien fall on her face, and the other dude that was being mean to Andy, and the pregnant girl, they're the only ones that was on the ship. But once they see that this alien came out of her, they both like, oh snap, fall out, and then the ship, it doesn't crash, but the ship basically goes back with the other ship. Like, the ship can dock inside the other ship, and it has like spaces and places where they can connect to each other and stuff, so you can get on and off. So that's what happens to the ship. The ship is now like, nobody's flying it, and it's just about to crash back into the ship. And so, who's on the ship now? The big ship. Andy, the guy, and the girl. So they walking around, and now I'm kind of drawing a blank. What happens from here? This is another reason why I don't think it's a good movie. Because, a movie, like I told you, you were, yo, if I would have just showed you, it was like 4 mosquitoes on my hand at one time. It was like 4 mosquitoes on my hand. So it's like, even if I had long sleeves on right now to cover up my arms, they were all just on my hand. So, what's happening? Oh, I think a little bit part of this. Okay, so the guy and the girl that I'm with, Andy, the robot, what happens? At first, when they was about to try to get onto the plane, they kind of sat there for a little bit. So another part of this, like motivation wise, is Andy is a robot, and at some point she was gonna have to leave Andy behind. She was gonna have to leave Andy on Jackson, just the mining star, and she was gonna leave him and go to another planet. He found that out through the guy, and not through her. She didn't tell that to him. So that was like a little sad Jane, right? So when that whole thing happens with the girl Navarro getting pregnant by the alien. Yo, go on in your life. So that happens with them. He goes to talk to the other robot. Now the other robot tells him, yo, you got a new mission. Like, your prime directive is no longer doing what's best for her. Your prime directive is doing what's best for the company. So Andy's like, follow me. The robot, Andy the robot's like, follow me. So him, especially now that they done took off on the other plane, the other ship. So they go and they following him. Now, if you ever seen Prometheus, he talks about that. So yo, it's too many. So I don't know what's going on. So Andy says he has a new directive to no longer do his best for the girl Ray and do his best for the company. So he's like, follow me. So they get to this other little chamber. They get to this other little chamber, and he picks up some type of compound. Yeah, this is the Prometheus 5. They perfected it or whatever. And gosh, bro. So they pick up the compound or whatever. Then what happens? They're just trying to get back off this boat, this ship. Why is she barking at this thing? No reason to be barking at this stick, bro. ends up happening? They get some guns, and they keep going. Um, then the pregnant girl had fell out on the floor in the ship. So she wake up and she see that the other girl done got messed up from from the alien coming out of her. Then she and I think the other dude, I think the alien just ate the other dude. I forget how he went out. So she gets off their ship and onto the big ship. And basically the alien come and get her too. The alien come and snatch her up. She just, yeah. Oh, because I think Andy, so she was trying to go find them, and when she was trying to go find them, she came to a door, and the door was closed, and Andy could open it, but Andy saw the alien behind her, so Andy was like, I'm not opening the door, and it was like, yo, she's da-da-da, blah, blah, blah. And so the alien just came and snatched her up. That was a pregnant girl that was on the ship that fell out. Then she woke back up, tried to get on the big ship. When she got on the big ship, the alien took her. Then they keep going through, and so what's in this last part? So now we're down to 2 humans. We're down to 2 humans and a robot. It's the guy. It's just the guy and the girl and the robot. So they're going through, and then they're like, I don't think we should go down this part right here. And they're about to turn around, but before they turn around, the dude's like, no, I think I hear her voice. And so they go back, and then the pregnant girl, she's still alive. She's just inside of the little thing that sticks to the wall. So the alien, you know, like a spider has a spider web and it has all this prey inside of a spider web. She is inside that, but it's against the wall. And so she done lost like a lot of blood or whatever. So the thing was like, maybe that's why it's keeping her alive and just it hasn't impregnated her yet. So then they rescue her. But in the process of rescuing her and getting her down, I think the robot carries her off. They're running. I don't know how the dude gets going. The dude gets ate up. I don't know. He gets ate up by the alien. Oh yeah. The alien just like stuck him, pulled him up, and then he was done. The alien don't got nothing to do with the men. Like, so if it's a man, it's just killing the man. But the women's gonna impregnate the women and save them for later. So it just pulls him up, kills him, and then after that, what happens? So it kills him. Now we down to 2 people. We down to 2 girls. But I forget what happens to that girl as well. Oh, so I think one of the things is, how does this go? So the 2 girls make it back to the ship. The 2 girls make it back to the ship. And she about to put her into the little chamber thing. She puts her into the chamber thing. And then come to find out, remember she was pregnant, and then the alien caught her. So she does put her into the chamber, but then they say vital, critical, vital, whatever it is, you know what I'm talking about. So she takes her out, and she's like, ah! She gives birth to an alien. right there on the plane. She gave birth to an alien right there on the plane. And this is the other part of the whole junk. So the girl Navarro, when the alien got her, it got on her face and went in whatever with her. The other girl, she was already pregnant. So we don't know what happened between the time she got caught and then this time, but she actually, like, you know what I'm saying, the normal way you would give a baby, that's how she had a baby. So she actually just birthed an alien. The other alien came out of Navarro, you know what I'm saying. This one, she like pushed out. This is the ugliest looking thing ever. So she gives birth to this alien, and it's ugly. It's just ugly. This was like bad. This was really bad. For it to be 2024, it's 2024. And this is why people don't want to go to the movies and stuff no more. This is why people are just on Netflix, because Netflix movies is better than this. Like, this was a really bad. They show this thing, and it's part human, yes. Then it has a whole lizard tail. You can see its back, and it started eating people. So I think that's what happened. I think so she birthed the alien, and then it ate her. That's what happened to her, I think. It birthed the alien, and then it ate her. And so this thing is tall. It's super tall, and it's a really bad creation. Like, if you ask a kid to draw an alien, that's what it would look like. Basically, it was terrible. It was terrible. And so Ray has to go through about trying to escape that thing. This is the last alien. She's the last person. And yeah, it's just her and Andy. And she kind of like just maneuvers and gets away from it. And then her and Andy go off on a ship. And he says, so Andy, he's a robot, so he's just gonna power down for a little bit. And she gets inside the little chamber, and she's just like, all right, I'm just leaving it up to faith, and I'm about to just go into this chamber, and hopefully I make it to the new planet, Ivaga, safely, but fate will tell. And so it was a terrible movie. It was a terrible movie. I did an okay job at explaining it. If you decide to watch the movie, like, it's called Romulus, Alien Romulus. And again, like, when I looked up Romulus, these are apparently the people who built Rome, Romulus and Remus. And when you actually, it's like, why is it called Romulus? And there's no mention, why is it called Romulus? Because it actually, at some point when they're walking on the ship, it does say something about Romulus and Remus inside the ship. And then later on, you see both parts of the ship. One part of the ship says Romulus, the other part of the ship says Remus. So it's like, why didn't they say anything about Remus? So overall, movie was terrible. Would I watch it again? I wouldn't even watch it again. I wouldn't tell somebody else to watch it. I don't think it's worth watching one time. The movie was just bad. It was bad. For it to be 2024 and that movie is out, that's just a bad movie. It's just overall, there's no part about the movie that was actually interesting. There's no part about it that was good. I wouldn't compliment it for anything at all. There was no good acting. There was no good creations. There was no good storyline. It was long. it was too long. I know, yeah, it was just bad. It was bad, bro. That was a bad movie. So, if you decide to go watch Alien Romulus and then get mad that you spent money to go watch it, just know that you were warned. You have been severely warned. All right.